Absolutely loads of shit going on today's show. A new Zelda game coming on Nintendo Switch. Also, fight Nazis with Patreon, apparently. Some bollocks on CNN. Keith Flint from The Prodigy, he's dead. You already know about it. My thoughts on that. Captain Marvel controversy, more video game shit. There's just too much to mention on this intro. I'm Johnny Massacre. This is the Johnny Massacre Show. It has been a while, hasn't it? It really has, but I'm back like bad news to haunt your day. Johnny Massacre checking in. Well, there's so much shit that's happened. I'm just going to plow through it randomly. I've got a list of shit. Video games, politics, all that crap, and a little bit about my life too. So let's get stuck into this, right? A new Zelda game on the Nintendo Switch. Now, this is kind of exciting, I reckon. This game is actually a fully fledged remake, and fully fledged means complete, so it's not just some cheap port of the old Game Boy game. They've completely redone it from the ground up. Feast your eyes on this shit. So we go over to Game Rant. Rumor 2 Zelda games coming to the Switch this year. So this appears to be it. This is the Nintendo Switch remake of Zelda on the Game Boy, Link's Awakening. Now, this game was fucking amazing. I had this on the Game Boy. It was so fucking good. The music was great. But there's one cunting thing about this game that really fucks you up. You can't finish it unless you find all these fucking seashells. And at no point from when you start the game right until the end does it ever tell you to find these fucking seashells or what the fuck they are, right? So then you go to the end, there's this massive egg on top of a mountain, but you can't go to the end of the game until you find 20 or so of these seashells. Where are they? No one fucking knows. You know all those bushes that are all over the Zelda world? You have to laboriously hack through all of them until you find these random fucking shells. I could never find that last fucking shell. So if you play this game, pick up the fucking seashells, you cunt. They probably put some other stuff in the game as well that you have to collect. I don't know, since it's a fully fledged remake and all. It's coming. It's coming for the Switch this year. The article says, according to GameFAQs and Reddit, the hellhole known as Reddit, users Verge Ben, known for leaking Nintendo news and being semi-accurate with his leaks. Semi-accurate with your leaks. So he's wrong a lot of the time is what you're saying. He's reported Nintendo has another 2D Zelda in the works for the Switch in 2019. This second 2D Zelda will reportedly be digital-only eShop exclusive and will be smaller in scale than Link's Awakening remake, according to Verge Ben. The game will be out before Link's Awakening and will be officially announced in just a few months. So 2 games, one of them is probably some loot box bullshit, and the other one is the remake of Link's Awakening. So there's not really that much more to say about it other than that Link's Awakening is an absolutely classic Zelda game. It's got some really good music as well. And so regarding that game, Link's Awakening, the article says, according to one leak, the game will be more than just a graphical update. A product listing for the game states that the number of players has yet to be determined by Nintendo, which has led to speculation that Link's Awakening on the Switch will add multiplayer of some kind. That would be sexual. While Zelda has been largely single player, some games have dabbled in multiplayer and co-op, so it certainly wouldn't be unprecedented. Okay, so I brought you a bit of fake news actually. This picture at the top, I don't think that is the remake of Link's Awakening. I don't think there's actually been any screenshots yet. Let me just Google this to make sure, because I wouldn't want to bring you any fake news. Oh, no. Apparently that is from the game. Rest assured, rest assured. Okay, yep. So, yes, I think this actually is. Let's have one more look at it. So there's so many screenshots of it. It is, because look at this. Here we go. Here's the original Game Boy one with the Chain Chomp. And then here's the Nintendo Switch one. So look, new Zelda game coming. I probably won't buy a Switch for it, but you should know about it. Moving on to other news. Fight Nazis with Patreon. I don't know what this is. I've just posted it into my list of shit to talk about on today's show. Probably just some SJW related content. So I get these emails sent by a company called Control Alt Right Delete, and it's like a far left liberal organization that masquerades as a nice centrist reasonable group, but their views are very, very extreme. And so I like to subscribe to these psychopaths just to see what is going on in the world. I don't want to live in an echo chamber. So let's read some of this liberal email that I got sent to me, probably complaining about Donald Trump or something. It's just funny. It's funny. Bit of politics never hurt anyone. Look at this. Control Alt Right Delete. Roger, my pseudonym. The trolls are pissed off about Control Alt Right Delete. How do I know? Already it's so condescending. It's very as if this author is talking down their nose at you. How do I know? The ego is out of control. The email says, I see the mentions on my Twitter feed and hope not hate's feed every day. The bigger this newsletter grows, the more pissed off they get. What a weird fucking email, mate. I don't know who the fuck you are. You're sending me some shit, telling me how everyone's angry with you, and fuck them, and you're trying to pretend like you don't care, but you clearly do, because in the first paragraph, in the first sentence, you're crying about it, and then you're trying to, reason with yourself and say the bigger this newsletter grows, the more angry they get. I don't want to be involved in this toxic shit. You're talking about angry people, and you lot, you can just be angry while I get on with my shit. Let's see how much more we can get through in this email. That's because CARD, whatever that stands for, CARD shines a light on how extremists spread and amplify hate and how they game social media to do it. Okay, so you are a good person fighting all the extremists. Really? Really? How many people have you ever met who are really on some kind of moral crusade to just instill good everywhere? Because even in the church, they're all fucking pedos. You can't trust anyone. And who is this random cunt? So yeah, that's the politics for today. Control, Alt, Right, Delete. It's a very far left organization masquerading as a reasonable organization. So I will enjoy to read more of their ridiculous emails in the future. What else is going on in the world? Well, Aliens, one of my favorite movies of all time. There's a little bit of news about Aliens. You see, people who love the Aliens franchise are forever hoping it returns to its former glory, which was created by James Cameron and Ridley Scott. And Ridley Scott directed the first Alien movie, absolute science fiction classic, and James Cameron developed the sequel. James Cameron being one of the only directors who can take a great movie and make an even better sequel. I prefer the sequel, the Aliens, to the original. And apparently James Cameron might be getting a little bit involved with the next Alien film, and I really hope this is true. However, if he doesn't direct it, it's probably still not going to be that great, because unless they direct it, it's probably not going to be that great. How many films do you know that have been directed by someone other than the legend who made it famous, and it was produced by the legend and it turned out to be great? I've seen movies that said produced by Quentin Tarantino. They were absolute shit. And we had Battle Angel Alita. I haven't seen it yet. That was produced by James Cameron, but I've heard on a lot of accounts it wasn't all that. So I really hope James Cameron will direct it, but I doubt he will, considering he's got about 9 fucking Avatar sequels filming simultaneously. Anyways, check out this gossip on Screen Rant. James Cameron hints a potential return to Alien franchise. There's Ripley. That's a real strong, powerful woman to look up to. Love you, Sigourney. James Cameron, says the article, appears to be hinting at a return to the Alien franchise. Following the success of The Terminator in 1984, Cameron was quickly signed by Fox to write and direct Aliens. Fox, I believe, is now owned by Disney, which means we're all fucked. The filmmaker changed up the haunted house formula of the original and turned Aliens into an action movie. The movie made Sigourney Weaver's Ripley a sci-fi icon, and thanks to a combination of a great script, cast and set pieces, the film is considered by some to be the best entry in the entire series. I vouch for that. I've read some of the Alien script. It is mind-blowingly good. It's so visual. You read it and you can completely see what's happening in the movie. Script writing is an art. Don't think you could do it if you just whipped out a pen and paper. I think you need some serious training and intellect to make a good script, which is what the script writers for Aliens had. One of the script writers was James Cameron himself. The article says early plans by producers involved ending the franchise with a 2-part project, with hopes Ridley Scott would return for Alien 3, based on a script by author William Gibson, and Cameron would make Alien 4, which would have gone to the Alien homeworld. Man, I would have loved to have seen that shit. Why did that not happen? God damn you big blockbuster movies that can't take any risks anymore. That would be amazing. Ridley Scott coming back to direct the 3rd one at that time. He actually did come back and directed 2 movies in modern times, which was shite. But if he would have done it at that time while he was on a roll, that would have been amazing. And James Cameron making a 4th Alien movie, going back to the homeworld. But now it's all been fucked up by the shitty movies that came recently. Anyways, Cameron wasn't interested. And he focused on his next movie, The Abyss, instead, which was a great movie. Probably should have done that. So anyways, Cameron hasn't expressed much of an urge to return to the Alien series, says Screen Rant, but that could be about to change. During an IGN red carpet interview for Alita Battle Angel, which he co-wrote and produced. Oh, he wrote it. Okay, well. Excuse me. Cameron was asked a question about calling Neil Blomkamp about his rejected Alien 5 concept. His response was succinct. I'm working on that, yeah. So Blomkamp, he directed that science fiction that was really well received, District 9, but he did a film called Chappie, which was fucking awful, which did have Sigourney Weaver in it, who's the star of the Aliens franchise, as it goes. But yeah, Blomkamp, he's a big fan of the Aliens movie, and who isn't, who's working in Hollywood today in the sci-fi genre. And so he wrote that script, and nothing really came of it. But kind of mysterious words from James Cameron regarding that Blomkamp script. I'm working on that, and I'd love to see it come back. I mean, come on, James. What more do you have to do? What's your fucking net worth, mate? You don't need to make any more fucking Avatar movies when you have a net worth of $700 million. And how old are you, mate? How fucking old? How much time do you have left, James? Oh, he's only 64. Fuck me. He's got a bit of time. But come on, 70s, you're basically dead. You're a dead man walking. And so it's all about legacy, James. So fuck Avatar. Just make another Aliens film. Come on, bring it back for the new generation. I'd love to see that happen. I really would. So maybe old Jamesy boy is going to get involved in the Aliens franchise, which I would love. In other news, Keith Flint died from The Prodigy. It took a little while for that to sink in, but he is one of my biggest influences. The Prodigy, the band, the brains of it was Liam Howlett. He composed it all. Without him, you'd have nothing. But the image that Keith Flint have and the punk vocals he did for their genre-defining electric punk anthems, Breathe and Firestarter, was just a moment in time. Now it is a zeitgeist that people look upon fondly. Keith Flint, man, the image of him on stage with his green hair, his impish gait, just fucking prowling that stage and just being a punk. He helped bring punk into the modern era after it had died away. And he was the final star of punk. I think now punk doesn't have anywhere to go, much like myself. And I think Keith Flint was the apex of punk. He took it as far as he could. Keith Flint, rest in peace, my friend. You changed my life. And a lot of my music is heavily influenced by that man and the band that he was a member of, known as The Prodigy. Very, very, very sad to see him go. Apparently he took his own life, which is just shit. You know, it doesn't matter about how much money and success you've got. Sometimes we've got to fill the existential vacuum with something meaningful, and perhaps a life touring with The Prodigy means that you are just too far gone, mate. God rest your soul. In other news, well, I think we're going to talk about the Notorious B.I.G. Talking about influences, he is probably my greatest influence of all time as far as writing lyrics goes. And his son, the late Notorious B.I.G.'s son, is releasing a marijuana brand. So why not talk about it? It's kind of interesting. I love B.I.G., so I hope his family does well. CJ Wallace, Forbes says, son of the Notorious B.I.G., talks about his new cannabis brand honouring his father. There is Notorious B.I.G.'s son. Been roughly 22 years since the death of Christopher Wallace, aka Biggie. Since he was killed in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles. Now, a few days before the 22nd anniversary of his death, that's recently passed, his son CJ is launching a new cannabis brand to honour his father. Wallace developed the brand Think Big, see what you did there, CJ, alongside his stepfather, music executive Todd Russell, and entrepreneur Willie Mack. So yeah, Biggie's son bringing out some kind of cannabis brand, and I will show you some of the design of the brand now and advertising. They've kind of got this on point. So this is Come Think Big. This is the official website where you can get Biggie related merchandise and whatnot. For example, this t-shirt, I really should buy this. And here is the weed. I like that Photoshop. Got a nice kind of purple contrast with the weed. The weed is known as Frank White, which is one of the aliases for Christopher Wallace, aka Notorious B.I.G. He had many pseudonyms. And the catch copy is Cannabis, a catalyst for creativity. I mean, yeah, you broke out the thesaurus there, but you've got nice alliteration with the CCC and a little bit of assonance with the cannabis and catalyst, but it's too wordy, mate. It's too wordy. Just because there's a good rhythm and alliteration in your slogan doesn't mean it's a good slogan. So I'm not behind that slogan, but still, there's the team. Learn more. So let's read a little bit about the weed. Frank White is a story retold, a narrative rewritten, a legacy reborn. See, look at marijuana now. They're kind of making it all hunky-dory when really it's going to turn you into a psychopathic killer. The Frank White brand remembers the days when big-hearted men were locked up by a small-minded system for lighting up. All right, I'm with you on that copy. I'm with you. We are here to usher in a new era where cannabis is recognized not as a contraband, but as a catalyst for creativity. Not for everyone. It can make you go stir crazy, but for a lot of people, it does work. It does work. Like countless artists before him, Christopher, the Notorious B.I.G. Wallace, used cannabis to access his lyricism, his rhythm, and the artistry that remains his indelible signature decades after his death. Frank White, a character from the film King of New York, is one of the many aliases Christopher, the Notorious B.I.G. Wallace, used to express himself. Our limited edition cannabis-inspired products are designed to help you connect with the artist and the flow that already lives inside of you. It's time that we as a society honor and embrace cannabis as a tool that allows people to find their own artistic flow. It's a bit wordy, mate. I mean, yeah, well written enough, but it's just too much, mate. Look, they're selling weed. It's Biggie's son carrying on the legacy. Let's all light up together. And yeah, so get some weed from Notorious B.I.G.'s son. Now let's talk about my life. I got some chicken in the oven. I'm really fucking hungry. So I'm going to have to love you and leave you in a second. But I thought you might want to know about what's going on in my life. Well, there's just too much shit as usual. Got a crazy schedule, working hard in the studio, making a lot of music. I want to talk about something lighthearted. A few video games that I've been looking at recently. Okay, so I'm heavy on Rainbow Six. I'm hooked on Rainbow Six. Loot box system, pay to play. You got me, Ubisoft motherfuckers. But it's worth it. Like my best friend Luke says, back in the days when they released games, he was stuck with it. But now, if there's a whole team of developers working to give you more shit, why fucking not? So I'm playing Rainbow Six a lot. It's just an amazing clutch game. Very fiddly, kind of accuracy-based game. and a great kind of breath of fresh air in the first person shooter genre. It's the only truly next gen shooter, which is amazing considering the technology around today. Everything's destructible. Every fucking wall you can blow it up, so you have to think on many different planes of existence in order to snuff out the enemy. Absolutely brilliant game. Really hot on the teamwork. Great online multiplayer, and that's all it's about, really. I'm playing that a lot. But there's a new game that I got called Earth Defense Force 5, and it looks like shit. And it's an alien invasion game, and it looks like shit because there's so many enemies on screen at the same time, and you just have to blow them away. And there's thousands of weapons in the game, and the whole point is you're addicted to getting these weapon crates in every level and then seeing what new weapons you've got. And I've barely scratched the surface of the game, but already I'm calling in these kind of nukes and shit that have a really slow arc, and you draw them towards the target. It's got very cheesy B-movie dialogue, and I think I would like you to support it, because if this game gets supported and actually gets like a really massive team of developers behind it, it could be just something to behold. So Earth Defense Force 5, I am very much enjoying that. Sounds like something out of a Kill Bill movie. And other than that, I've got some real bangers coming. I've been focusing on making drum and bass, and I've got some very cool drum and bass. My rig is looking pretty sexy over there, as you can see. So I'm doing a bit of mastering. I'm working with a band at the moment. I can't give away too many details, but they've got singles coming out, and I'm mastering and mixing them. So more on that when it comes. And yeah, I just thought I've got a song. I'm going to release it on YouTube in a minute called Get in the Kitchen. Kind of trolling a bit on this song. It's a hip hop song, and there's a website called Submit Hub, and this is the modern way to get reviews. So many people spam journalists with their shitty material that they can't possibly sift through all these submissions. So now there's this aggregator for people to submit their music to journalists, and you have to pay $1 per publication or website or reviewer, whatever you want to call it, or $2 or $3 if they've got more clout. And if they don't publish your music, they can give you a reason why. And I think I submitted to 80 people for 2 songs, and I was flat out refused for everything. And yeah, like in the Billboard's Hot 100, there is music with the same 808 drum kit with some guy going brr, skr, brr, and you're telling me my song is not good enough for you motherfuckers? I have disdain and contempt for you. So I thought I'd read you some of the reasons my song was refused. I think it's quite a good advertisement for the song itself. So, okay, I've got a song called Black and White Girl. Let's read why the song was refused. So Black Plastic says, nice layered rhythms and production, but I didn't personally feel like the vocals connected. There wasn't enough of a melody here for me. Okay. So these people are actually all being quite nice, to be fair. High Cloud says, the production reminds me of The Weeknd's collaboration with Daft Punk, but overall it was not sounding like a match with our identity. Okay. Fashionably Early says, the beat was hot on here, but not that into the performance, honestly, mainly the chorus. Okay, thanks for that, Fashionably Early. What else is good? The ones I really like were the ones where people got offended. The Word is Bond said, interesting dark vibes and lyrics, but doesn't rise to a plateau. Okay. Let's see what other people are saying about my song. House of Lords says, thanks for the submission, but we weren't feeling this track. The drums and vibe were too aggressive sounding. Jesus, mate, come on. Everyone likes a bit of aggressiveness on the dance floor. Well, actually not too many offended people here, which is kind of nice. So, what did I say? From winter to summer, hoes dream of me, because I hit him with a stunner in my stone cold creamery. I'm a starving artist, I'm the sharpest. I leave a carcass like a great white shark in the darkness. I kick your girlfriend in the cunt before I lose a battle to you bastards. Johnny Massacre will leave your feet sticking out the marshes. Come on, motherfucker. That's a savage lyric. And you don't want to accept my song for that? You cannot be serious. All right, well, actually, those people didn't really mind that much. But my other song Get in the kitchen did trigger a few journalists. Let's see what some of these people said. Okay, Cruel Rhythm said, some interesting production textures, just really struggling with those vocals and lyrics. So, you know, what did I say in this song? What the fuck did I say? I date Asian girls so they can't understand what I tell them. When the cops come, they give them hell, well done. I keep my bitch on point like a whale gun to blow holes in you pricks like a... Oh shit. I keep my bitch on point like a whale gun to blow holes in you pricks like a rail gun. So, and then the chorus is like, hey baby, be a good girl now, run on in the kitchen, down the stairs. Now she running down the stairs, what? Running down the stairs, running down the stairs. Hey baby, I know you're not bitching, be a good girl now, run on in the kitchen. Hey, you know, men like a steak, men like some nice food, you know, the traditional gender roles. We got this far with that. Let's not all blur them with your fluidity nonsense. Let's stick to science and facts. And let's be proud of who we are. Be proud of being a man. Be masculine. Pump up your testosterone. Women, be feminine. Be wonderful. Be emotional, sensitive, and beautiful. And let's compliment each other. That's all I'm saying, man. It's all in your mind. If you're offended by it, you've created some conflict in your own head. So there is one review I really want to read from Kane FM 103.7. They said, not a fan of this track at all. I think if you wanted to make fun at politically correct culture, you should have directed this message at a group of which you are a part of and therefore can relate to. Number one, motherfucker, I am not part of any group. And do I have to be a part of a group in order to criticize it? Surely you're going to criticize the groups you're not part of that you'd never join? That doesn't make any sense. And so by that logic, since you've never rapped yourself, you're not fit to review. You can only review if you've made a song and rapped about it. No, that's not how it works at all, I'm afraid. So Kane FM go on and said, I mean, fuck. I'm not sure why you assume you know what is best for women and have the right to tell them what to do in comedic form or not. So much wrong with that sentence. It's a song, motherfucker. And I don't have a right to tell someone what to do in comedic form. So in comedic form, if you tell someone what to do, it's just a joke. But I don't have a right to even tell a joke. This is everything wrong with politically correct culture. And I'm glad this motherfucker ain't reviewing the track. Finally, he said, furthermore, I'm confused as to why you would send me this track as it is clearly not suitable for radio play. The production is nice though. Well, there you go. I will keep making the music and I will release that soon. And that's some quite nice sound bites, giving you reasons why to listen to my music. So, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Had a good time with you lot. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a comment below. And I will see you on the next one. See you later.